Good evening, and welcome to our presentation of Babble at BAbel. This musical is based on the story found in Genesis of a great tower constructed by the people of the land of Shinar, which fell to ruins after God caused them all to speak in different languages, making cooperation impossible. Most of us are familiar with this tale, but we usually think of it as a quaint explanation and the variety in our world's languages. Tonight we shall consider the idea that it may not have been the tower itself that displeased the Lord, but the motivations of its builders. Would we have acted differently if we had lived in Shinar 3,000 years ago?
It is my pleasure to welcome you today. Mrs. Riley tells me our choir has been working very hard these past few weeks. I'm sure we're all looking forward to this musical version of the story based on Genesis chapter 11. Let's see, that must be the story of Cain and Abel.
Cain and Abel?
The story of Cain and Abel is found in chapter 4.
Oh, well, then we're in for a real treat, because in Genesis, after telling about Cain and Abel, we come to everyone's favorite, the old man of the sea himself, Noah.
Noah!
Chapters 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 tell about Noah.
And right after Noah comes chapter 11, the one we've all been waiting for. The Tower of Babel.
Or Babel. It's one of those words that can be pronounced two ways.
You certainly know a lot about this, don't you?
It's obvious I know more than you do.
Just remember, they chose me to be the announcer.
Someone did. I'd like to apologize for someone's bad judgment.
Well, like it or not, I am the announcer. And it's not even time yet for your bit.
My bit? If it weren't for me, you wouldn't have remembered what this play was about.
Temper, temper. Remember, the audience is waiting for me to continue. So, without further ado, let me present to you the junior and youth choirs of the Medford United Methodist Church in their performance of
Babble at BAbel. Have you heard about the Babble at BAbel, folks? It happened a long time ago, yeah, yeah. Have you heard about the Babble at BAbel, folks? It's a story that you all should know. Come and contemplate on all shine our space. They try to call
to stress kind-heartedness.
We're unsurpassed in wealthiness, courageousness, athleticness, saintliness.
Should we confess the key to our success?
Yes, let's do it.
We must confess that we possess the unique quality that can only be described as perfectness.
How true, how true. We certainly do, because we people of Chiors, so grand and so fine are. With manners and charm you just can't ignore. If we weren't so modest, we'd praise ourselves some more. We're the perfectly glorious, always victorious, marvelous, fabulous, flow from
People of Shinar, we ask your attention. Septa and I have just had a most brilliant idea, a splendid idea, a magnificent idea. Get the point, you two. What is your idea? Yes. Well, our idea is this. Jepta and I feel we owe it to ourselves and to the world to do something spectacular. And though it would not be our intention, we're forced to admit that a spectacular achievement would undoubtedly call attention to our greatness. Do continue. This is most interesting. What sort of achievement? We'd like to propose that we build a tower.
A tower?
A tower whose top would reach to heaven. All the way to heaven? Higher than man has ever gone before. A brilliant idea. A splendid idea. A magnificent idea. Yes. And we could climb that tower right up to heaven. Heaven, that's where we belong. Right up there with God.
a tower! Why, everyone remembers what great architects the people of Shinar were. They really made a name for themselves. Who hasn't heard of the Tower of Babel?
Babel. And if you knew the story, you would know they did not become famous for their architectural skills. Why, Shinar isn't even on our map today.
Who cares?
Most people appreciate having a little background information. That's why I have prepared a map to show that Shinar was located near the present city of Hilla, southwest of Baghdad on a small tributary of the Euphrates.
Is this really necessary?
It's more than necessary that one of us knows and understands this story.
You're really beginning to bug me.
I haven't been particularly excited with your performance from the beginning.
I'm going to ignore that. I guess she just can't help being a show-off know-it-all.
It's better than being a show-off know-nothing.
Now wait a minute.
Now, to get this project going, we'll need architects. Here. Engineers. Here. Supervisors.
Here.
And laborers to make bricks.
Laborers?
You do have slaves, don't you?
Oh, slaves.
Summon the slaves. We're going to build a tower that will reach to heaven. We need bricks. Lots of bricks. Big bricks. And we want them now. Making bricks all day long. Making bricks all day long. Gonna throw 'em in the oven and make 'em strong. Gotta keep working all day long. Hurry up, move along. Hurry up, keep working all day long. To make a name and win our fame with this great tower to the sky. Gonna build us a tower up to the sky. Gonna build a tower up so high. Gonna reach those pearly gates by and by. Oh my, oh my. Climbing up to God. Higher every day. Higher, 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 higher. Get out of our way. Climbing up to God. Higher every day. Hey, 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 hey. We're climbing up to God. Climbing up to God. We're climbing up, up, up to God. Will you tell your slave to look where he's going? Don't blame my slave because your slave had to be so clumsy. My slave clumsy? You should talk. Look at those scrawny looking bricks your slave is making. They're a lot better than his. Is that so? Yeah, that's so. Who says? I said. Yeah, who else? They both make crummy bricks. Anyone can see that my slave makes the best bricks. Oh, yeah? Yeah. either, but I can tell you this much. It's on my mind all the time. Heaven has got to be out there somewhere. How much farther do you think we'll have to go? How far away is heaven?
There you are, Angela. I've been looking all over creation for you.
What's wrong? Has something happened?
Not yet, but I heard that God has finally decided to do something about you-know-who and their you-know-what.
Hey girls, what's up?
We are, in case you haven't noticed.
Ha ha, very funny. In that case, maybe I should say, what's down?
We were just talking about that. The people of Shinar and their tower.
It's certainly getting higher by the day.
Well, I don't know all the details yet, but there's a plan being worked out to give them all different languages. That would really cause mass confusion.
And the end of the building project.
Something has to be done, but it's sad in a way. They've been working so hard.
You mean their slaves have?
All that time and money.
And what did it accomplish? Exactly nothing. They see heaven when God wills, and not 1 minute before.
Oh, I know, but they've been trying so hard.
Trying to make themselves a name. Pride, greed, arrogance.
No, they'll never reach heaven that way.
Poweritis, that's what they've got. A bad case of poweritis. There's only one ruler of the world, God. Yet each generation seems determined to challenge God's will. But trying to rule by military might, wisdom, or even wealth. Well, sometimes I wonder why the Lord Almighty even bothers with them at all.
Whoa there, Angie. Simmer down. Don't flip your halo over it.
It's a good thing for us that God is concerned. We weren't always perfect little angels after all.
In fact, some of us still aren't.
Speaking for yourself, Angelina. Say, I wonder when all the confusion will start.
Words out that action will be immediate, as soon as you can say, praise God.
Making bricks all day long. Making bricks all day long. Gonna throw 'em in the oven and make 'em strong. Gotta keep working all day long. Slaves, slaves, you're going to have to work harder and faster. A destined be dailies? What did she say? Is this some kind of joke? Rutabaga, rutabaga. That does not make any sense. Venite adoremus. Not you, too. A destined be dailies. Ubi caritas? Oh no, I don't understand you or you. I can't understand anyone but myself. What is happening? Has the whole world gone mad?
Have you heard about the Babble at BAbel, folks? It happened a long time ago. Have you heard about the Babble at BAbel, folks? It's a story you really should know. Though it happened a long time ago.
All that's left of their magnificent tower is now just a bunch of old ruins. The people went off in their separate ways.
They didn't even try to understand each other.
Why bother? I don't understand you, and we both speak the same language.
And I'll never understand the person who chose you to be the announcer. That sure wasn't a good idea.
Ha! You wouldn't know a good idea if it was explained to you in 1,000 different languages.
I wouldn't know. At least I know what's going on around here.
And you don't think I do?
Obviously not.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I do too.
Do not.
Do too.
Do not.
Do too.
Quiet!
They can't hear you.
I know, but it made me feel better.
Just look at them. Centuries go by, but it's the same old story with different casting. Well, you know what Shakespeare said. Those who do not learn from the past are condemned to repeat it.
Shakespeare never said that. It doesn't even sound like Shakespeare.
Well, maybe it was Benjamin Franklin, Pastor Joe.
Actually, it was George Santayana, but I am afraid we're seeing evidence of his statement right here.
Frankly, all these reruns are getting me down. You can stay and watch, but this is too depressing.
I'll join you. There are better reruns on Disney Channel.
Perhaps this story is just a fable, albeit a colorful one, but it carries an important message for us today. How many times do we talk past each other, not even trying to listen to the other person or group, as if they were speaking a foreign, unintelligible language? Let us keep in mind that we often need God's help to truly hear another's point of view or see a situation through their eyes. And if we ask, He will lovingly grant us this help.
Open our eyes that we may see.
And this one says, love one another. Uh-oh, if this is going to be another tower to heaven, you and I are in big trouble. We haven't been exactly loving today.
Loving? We haven't even entered the friendly zone.
And it looked so easy for her. I suppose I really should try a bit harder.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I guess there's no time like the present.
I'm willing if you are. Truce?
Truce. But I have to warn you, I'll probably stumble around a lot. These bricks are dynamite.
Well, I haven't reached perfectness myself.
Hey, come on, let's see if this tower really will take us to heaven. What do you think?
I think we're still in the sanctuary of the Medford United Methodist Church.
This isn't supposed to be a tower. You mean we can't build a tower to heaven, even with bricks like these?
Nope. All we can do is put down a foundation of love. Then we need to trust the master builder to do the rest.
The master builder?
There's just no way that we ever will be able to build a tower to heaven. We just can't get there on our own power. But nothing is impossible for God, so we're going to trust that in His mercy, grace,
And love.
God will build a tower or a bridge or throw down a ladder that can and will reach all the way from heaven out to us. Praise God. Praise God.
Oh, praise God!
Once upon the present, in the land of here and now.
Hello. So there are no seniors this year, and typically seniors give this speech, so as the freshmen, we're giving this speech.
Okay. Thank you for coming to see our production of Babble and BAbel. We would like to thank Miss Riley for helping us put it together. She has spent so much time with all of us trying to make it perfect, and we're all so thankful for her. We would have never been able to do the play without her constant help in saying louder and slower. Thank you for staying Thank you for staying calm even when we aren't listening. From then to now, you have made it so much fun, and we want to all thank you for that.
Now, we have some other people that have helped us put together this show. We'd like to thank Mrs. Frame. She's back there with Kelsey. And Mrs. Frame, she's taken time out of her probably very busy days to come be with us and help us rehearse. And it was just so awesome having them both here. So
we also want to thank Miss Baumgartner and Miss Mace for hosting all our pizza dinners during practices and helping feed us.
You mean you ran out of space on your phones?
Yeah, there was just not enough.
People used to have little pieces of paper all wadded up.
And they would usually drop them if it was raining.
Well, thank you, choir, very much. You may sit down for a few minutes. They really have worked hard. You know, this is not their main job. Their main job from September through June, through the third Sunday in June, you've been told that, is to be worship leaders here during church. They sing almost every Sunday. And that's really quite a job for young people's choirs. You live with most of them. You know how busy they are and how many demands there are on their time. And I appreciate not only the time they put in, but the beautiful music they make. I am so proud of these singers. They are wonderful. I'm just thrilled. And I will repeat just a little bit of what Allie and Grace said. There were many people helping out. We certainly couldn't have done it without them. Mrs. Frame, who runs the bell choirs here and just had a bell concert a couple of weeks ago that she had to deal with. She's also a teacher full-time. I used to do that. I don't know how I ever did these shows and taught also, but it just takes so much time, and I really appreciate Barb, all of her help. And it's so cool to have Kelsey come back. She just slides right in as if she had never left, and I guess in her heart she hadn't. She's been in this production, not in this production, but in this play, and I'm sure she has some sort of memories. I hope they're fond with that. And she's really a tremendous help, and I really appreciate her coming in to do this. Back at our lights is Brad Polhemus, another alum of the youth choir, who has been in one of these productions too, and wore his shirt to prove it to rehearsal last Friday. So thank you, very much, Brad. And Mrs. Baumgartner and Mrs. Mace both have been very, very, very helpful, and just by being here and by organizing things, which is not my strong point, as many of you know. And I do have to apologize. You might have seen that Mrs. Baumgartner was supposed to give our opening speech. Well, that was my fault. Poor Isabel has been, has been, in my mind, being mixed up with her mother ever since she joined choir. And I carried it on by getting that name wrong in the cast, so I really do apologize. I'll try to do better next year. And to you parents, thank you so much. You were getting these emails about, oh, we're going to have rehearsal this week, certain days and certain times, and you got your kids here, you picked them up, you made sure that they were present, that they took care of the things they needed to. Some of you worked on their parts with them, which was much appreciated. There was quite a bit to this show. I thought it was not too complicated at first, but there was quite a bit for them to do and to remember, and they popped up and said their parts. They sang by themselves, some of them. They just remembered so many things. I was quite amazed and so very pleased. So parents, thank you all so very much, and thanks to the members and friends of Medford United Methodist Church. You've all, the support that our music program, our bells, our vocal choirs, the folks that play in the band at the FLC, Bruce Rosvold, who plays the organ. We get so many compliments and so many kind things said about our music, and we certainly do all appreciate it. So, and the reason I'm speaking so much to you is that both Pastor Joe and Pastor Kathleen are at annual conference, which is the big Methodist meeting of the year. It's down in Wildwood. They're supposed to be doing serious things. I don't know. They may be out on the boardwalk at some point, but that's okay. So they will see this performance on June 2nd at 11, and you are certainly all invited to return to see it then too, if you would like to. And we would like you to stop over to Boker Hall for some refreshments before you leave. The junior choir and youth choir, though, do have a little bit of jobs to do. You need to take your robes, and you need to take your books. Now, they need to go to 2 different places. Do you think you could do this? Wait a minute, hold the phone. Have you been dismissed? I don't think so. How about if you pile your books up down in the room where you put your robes, okay? Now, there are coat hangers or robe hangers down there, so that means you don't throw them on the floor. You put them on the hangers, then pile your books up, and then you can go up to Boker Hall and join your parents and relatives for refreshments. Youth choir, you know where to put your stuff, right? Yep. Right. So I'll ask the slaves to leave first. Go ahead, slaves. You had it tough. All right. How about the slave owners? And Sabta and Jephthah and our brick mover and sign person and our speaker, Isabel. And the angels and narrator and announcer. So again, thank you. Put it back where you got it from, okay? Again, thank you. We hope you enjoyed the evening.